Happy New Year. Mom, welcome. Where from?
It is January 2006 in Bethlehem, Palestine. Adnan is out in the street trying to bring clients to his souvenir shop in the town centre.
20 years ago.
Not many tourists are around.
You're welcome, my brothers.
6 years of intifada have left the town wounded and scarred. And the recent unexpected victory of Hamas, the leading Islamist party in the Palestinian territories, in the national elections, cast a cloud of uncertainty as to what is to come.
Only visit my shop, just visit. Really, don't buy.
I first met Adnan 7 years ago. It was the last November before the new millennium. I came to Bethlehem to witness how it was preparing to celebrate the 2000th birthday of its most famous son, Jesus Christ. We met 4 young Palestinians, the millennium generation.
My name is Elizabeth Jakaman. I'm 17 and a half years old. I live in Bethlehem. I have 3 sisters and 1 brother. Everybody knows, I think, that Jesus was born here in Bethlehem, and it's a good thing to be near Jesus because we go to church every Sunday where Jesus was born. We pray there. I believe that if I live in Bethlehem, I'll be near to Jesus. I know that he's in heaven, but he's always near to us, and the where he was born is very holy.
My name is Adnan Khalil Ali. I'm a student at Bethlehem University. I study social work, psychology, and I'm married and have 1 child, and I'm working here in the shop at the same time. Really my dream to be free, to have good health, really to live in peace life. Because the health is better than money and business. And to be free to go any place I like it. I have freedom better than everything in the world.
My name is Carlo and I'm 25 years. I finish my school. After that I going to Greece for study and I live there 5 years. And now I come back here and I live now with my family, with my parents, and I work here. And I will sit here now.
قريب لي خضرة محمد شتي والخطيب ابن 25 قاربو ببيت لخم ما بشري من بيت لخم ويقام صعب بشري من بيت لخم تريش تشتي أحيم أحد بين 22 أحد 24 قاريمتي ببيت الزيقام ويلدو قام ببيت لخم وهو أحيم شيلو قام شموني هيو كان بأحيم بحط شيلو بأبا بإيما شيلو هيو كان قارين كان شاف كل أحشيلو كل إيش أحط لي الأخت حتانت الأخت لبيت حيرة بل هو هي كان لبا بحار كأخوت حتان فاين وانا نحن مش بحار كلنا مسلمين يش لأحيم ومتبللين بأنيلو في قام أبا شيليلو إيما شيلي متبللت أحشيلي متبللة نيلو متبللة אתה בן אדם וגם אני בן אדם, כן? עכשיו, מה בינינו? אתה חושב במשהו וגם אני חושב במשהו אחר. בעולם הזה כל אדם חושב כמו הוא צריך. זה מה אני צריך להגיד לך.
I asked, how do you know Hebrew, the enemy's language, so well?
מבצע. מהכלא.
Bethlehem is a significant city to both Jewish and Christian religions. The city is mentioned many times in the Old Testament. It is reputed to be the birthplace of King David and, amongst other referenced, is the burial place of Rachel, one of the four mothers of the Jewish people. The town is most known for its role in the New Testament, where it is written that Jesus Christ was born. The story of Bethlehem continued as one of conquests and foreign rule. After centuries under Roman and then Byzantine authority, it was captured by the Persians in the 7th century. In 1099, it was taken away from the Muslims by the Crusaders, who lost it to Saladin less than a century later. Palestine then became a part of the Ottoman Empire until its fall, apart from a short period in the early 19th century when it was conquered by Muhammad Ali of Egypt. After the First World War, Palestine was placed under a British mandate. By that time, growing waves of European Jews were immigrating into Palestine, and the conflict between the Zionist movement and the local Arabic population had become fierce and violent. According to the UN Partition Plan of 1947, Bethlehem and Jerusalem were to remain under international administration. Yet in the aftermath of the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, the town came under Jordanian control. Many Palestinian refugees settled in and around Bethlehem. In the 1967 war, Israel conquered the entire West Bank from Jordan, including the town of Bethlehem. The town remained under Israeli rule until 1995, when as part of the Oslo Agreement, it became one of the few areas under full control of the Palestinian Authority.
وما خفتنا بناب وشركة روح القدوس لتكون مع جميعكم.
Bethlehem has been a place of pilgrimage since the dawn of Christianity. In the year 327 AD, Queen Helena built the basilica over the cave where Jesus is believed to have been born. It became known as the Nativity Church, one of Christianity's holiest places.
واعترفوا معمودية واحدة لمغفرة الخطايا وأترجى قيامة الموتى والحياة في الدهر الآتي.
Carlo and Hada told me about their experience in the first Intifada.
It was beautiful the first time because we can't understand what we're doing, and we was 14 and the other boys 20, 25.
פעם ראשונה הייתי בבית ספר ובא לנו אנשים אמרו לנו יאללה תעשו בבית ספר, יום סגור הבית ספר, יאללה תלכו מהבית ספר. הלכנו לכביש והיה בלגן בכל המקומות, זה מה נדבר אולי ב-88 ככה. כל בן אדם הלך למקום וראית אני בכביש לבד. منوسي راك سمعت عنيشك راك سمعت امبولانس راك سمعت مشي وراك مشي وليك مشي ولا كمو ملخمه بديو كل بنادم راك وصريخ لخلب على المكان شيلو بحر كا خلقنا لدارخ رايتو تام تفسوا افانيم تفستي افانيم ما هم عسيم اني عسي دابا مرشون هيتك مو مشو كاع يضعف لعينه ليخ ما عسي ما كرا العلام زي ما شو زي
not just for us it was beautiful and for the Israel, yeah. We see it in the streets, it was beautiful, and they smile when they have a gun and kill somebody. Maybe it was beautiful for them.
לא היינו כמו עכשיו, יש לנו שכל, חושבים מה אנחנו צריכים בדיוק. רק היה לנו ככה, נמשיך, נלך לכביש, נעשה קצת בעיה, ונחזור לבית. זהו, באחר כך נחזור עוד פעם, נרשום על קירות, נזרוק את האבנים. בום באים בלילה לוקחים אותנו, כמו פילם, באמת.
Every day we know from this street they will coming every 1 hour, something like this. Every 2 hours we wait. كل بحكي لي شايفين؟
يلا.
היינו עומדים ככה, ואחד יעמוד כאן, יגיד הנה הם באים, ואחר כך יאללה אג'ו, תזרוק, זהו.
خلاص كابتن.
זה מה שהוא. קפטן היה לבית לחם, קוראים לו חוסני, הוא בא אליי, לקח אותי מכאן, עצבו לי עיניים, לקחו אותי לבית סוהר לדהריה, ישבתי שם חודשיים בחקירות.
اجوا خبطوا الباب هيك باجريهم هيك، وبعدين اجى حسني اخذ خضر وحط على عينين هدول وضربوا وحطوا في الجيب تحت وراحوا فيه، وانا صرت ابكي عشان ابني اخذوه، صرت هيك زي المجنون اروح اجي هيك واطلع واعبر.
הייתי אני בכלא, באו לי כאן, הם צריכים חדר. אמא שלי אמרת לו, חדר לא כאן, חדר בבית סוהר, הוא לא מאמין לאמא שלי. הוא אומר לה זה חדר. היא אמרת לו חדר יותר גדול מזה, וגם הוא בבית סוהר עכשיו. ולקחו את האח שלי, קוראים לו חסן. אבל מה רשמו על הטק שלו? רשמו זה חדר מחמד שתי חטים. וגם אני הייתי אותה בחדר אחד. עכשיו כל יום הם היו עושים סבירה. ויגידו 200,054, אני אגיד אני חדר. יגידו 2249, יגיד חדר. אני אומר להם בבית סוהר, אומר להם אני חדר, לא זה. זה בא לי כאן בגלל אני. הם לא מאמינים.
مرة أخذوا 3 مرة واحدة كلهم برا، كله في الجيب.
There's nothing here, like I have a good voice, okay, beautiful, but I can't sing here. We are talented, and my brother plays football very good, and basketball, he's a sport talented. But here in Bethlehem, there's no potential. I love singing, okay, but I can't, so I have to face it. I can't sing, so what? I have to face what really life is. I don't want to live in the land dreams and then suddenly fall. Bethlehem doesn't have anything to give us, so it's empty.
הלכתי להתחתן פעם, אמרתי לאבא שלי אני צריך להתחתן. אמר לי איפה הבית שלך? אמרתי הוא צריך לקחת בית ב1,000 שקל. עובד אולי מהשעה 9 או 10 נגיד ככה, לא עד 2:10 בלילה. ואיך אתה צריך להמשיך בחיי? אתה לוקח 2,000 שקל ו1,000 שקל לבית ועוד 400,000 שקל אולי למים, לטלפון, לחשמל, ואחר כך אתה צריך להמשיך. הוא אמר לי לא. אמרתי לו אני אוהב אותה וגם היא אוהבת אותי. אמר לי לא, מה זה אהבה?
هو كان عصبي، يفكر في الليل لحاله، يضل قاعد يدخن، فكر على العيشة اللي احنا فيها يعني عشان البيت صغير. فيش بيت، فيش مصاري، فيش ولا اشي.
איפה הוא יושבים בלילה?
خضر كان، بأني كان، بأبا بجوزي كان، بيحيى كان.
Today in my shop I sell only $25 really. 3 days ago I didn't sell anything. Many tourists afraid of this news when they hear in TV or a newspaper. They think something is very dangerous here and they come and didn't come. Afraid.
Is it natural for them?
No, really nothing. They have situation better than me. I am in danger place, but for them it's have good. It's for me to go to Jordan. It's easy than to go to Jerusalem. Really.
Why is that?
I can't. If I can go to make a permission, they say you can't go really, because I must. The Israel government.
Bethlehem is situated in the south of Jerusalem. In 1999, there was nothing to separate the two cities from one another but an Israeli military checkpoint. In 2002, the building of the so-called separation fence began, and now a tall concrete wall stands between Bethlehem and Jerusalem. In 1999, thousands of men and women walked every day through the military checkpoint in search of work in Israel. It is estimated that approximately 70,000 pass through every morning, 50,000 of them without a permit. Since the Intifada, the situation changes, depending on governmental decision, and there are times in which no one is allowed passage, unless it's for humanitarian reasons. Even before the Intifada in 1999, at times of peace, not everyone could pass the checkpoint freely.
For 9 years, I don't have permission to go to Jerusalem. 9 years ago, I don't never been in Jerusalem. I like to go to Tel Aviv. I like to go to any place in Israel. Really, I like you Israel people. They're coming here. Any place they coming in West Bank. I live in here in prison, like a prison, big prison.
Hader's mother fled her home in Jerusalem in 1948. Following her marriage to Hader's father, she moved to Bethlehem, close to Carlo and his family, one of the last Christian families left in the Christian quarter of the city. In the face of hardship, they formed a rare relationship between a Muslim and a Christian woman. Bethlehem, the most Christian city in the world, now has a majority of Muslim residents.
We are maybe 6,000 people here in Bethlehem, and in Australia or Chile we have 100,000 outside from Bethlehem, just from Bethlehem. They live outside.
In 1948, following the declaration of Israel as a sovereign state, Christians began leaving the city of Bethlehem. However, they were still a majority. In 1967, when the Israeli army occupied the territories, it changed the demographic balance, and now the majority are Muslims.
I have one friend, we was from small together in Australia, another one in America. I have one friend in Canada, one in Jordan, and one in Dubai. We was together when we say about the Intifada. We was together, and we go when it's finished. We going from here, everybody, somebody, because the situation it was very difficult.
7 years ago, I asked Hader and Carlo if they thought there could be a second Intifada.
Why?
Where's the democratic? I can't say we have democratic here. We don't have democratic. I can't say we have something here, and we go in this street and do this life. And nothing we don't have here.
It has been 6 years now since the signing of the Oslo Accord, but the peace process had failed to deliver its promises and was at a deadlock. The Palestinian public was beginning to show growing signs of discontent towards its leadership and disappointment towards the peace process with Israel.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, we have come today to celebrate together and lift up our Christian presence.
The events of the millennium presented to politicians a golden opportunity for a display of authority and Palestinian unity. The Pope also visited the region.
Why they are coming the Bab or the fathers or Michel Sabah or anybody else from Greece or from Italy? Why did they coming here in Bethlehem? To see just the church and they going? And what they do for the people in Bethlehem? What they do? It's nobody from Bethlehem see them. Maybe before 10 years, 15 years, when I was a boy. But now, because I understand everything, I don't like the flesh.
We have many workers here for Millennium. We suffering 1 year of this holy dust here in Bethlehem. All the street is closed, holy dust in the city only.
It is a week before Christmas, and the hope for tourists has caused a frenzy of preparation.
It's nothing here for us, for the Christian people in Bethlehem. It's no Christian people in Bethlehem now. Maybe we are 2,000 here, just 2,000, and we can't go to my church in Christmas. Everybody, not just my family, everybody we see the church from the television. We can't come here. We can't come here. And if you talk with anybody from here, big like Father Ibrahim or anybody else, if you ask him about ticket, they tell you we don't have. We can't give you. Nobody from Bethlehem. All from outside. I'm happy, but I don't feel good for us. It's not my celebration.
Here in Bethlehem, the air was full of excitement and anticipation. Festivities of an unprecedented scale were planned, and hopes were high for an influx of tourists who would come to do their once-in-a-lifetime New Year's countdown, where the count had already begun. Tourists began filling the city, and the more devout believers are already feeling at home.
People messing with you, people sneering at you, mocking you, reproaching you. What does Jesus Christ do? Loves his enemies. Then Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. And they divided his
Jerusalem and the holy sites around it often bring some believers to react rather extremely to their holiness, a phenomenon known as the Jerusalem syndrome.
Should have known what they were doing. They ran the temple, they taught in the synagogues, they knew the Bible. They should have sort of been looking, anticipating that Jesus Christ was the Messiah sent to Israel. But they jumped the gun, and then God kicked them out of Israel in 70 AD, but in 1948 they came back. But
this man ended that day locked up in a mental ward and later on deported out of the country.
Who is Jesus Christ, our Savior's bloodline? Muhammad is not the Son of God. When I say to the Muslims that Jesus is the Son of God, look out, that's a problem.
مدينة بيت لحم بعد 2000 وهي قبل 2000 نفس القضية لن يتغير عليها شيء. ماذا سيتغير عليها؟ أولا الناس الوافدون إليها سيعودون إلى بلادهم.
Maybe it's from today, maybe something changed, maybe another tourist coming. Yes, we see that today is many tourists coming. Maybe in the future very good. Maybe.
Like a teenager, living in Bethlehem is very cool. We live happily with our family. We have many friends. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of hospitality in Bethlehem. And I think Bethlehem's great. I don't want to go anywhere else.
צריך ארץ פלסטינאי. צריך ארץ שהיה משהו היה לסבא שלי ולסבתא שלי. צריכים היפה. צריכים משהו הלך ב-48, 67. עכשיו יש לך שכל טוב, תראו מה אתה עושה. אתה משוגע, צריך לחזור את כל הארץ, באבן. מה אתה עושה? אז בוא נחשוב זה בראש, מה אני עושה? אני משוגע, מה אני עושה? צריך לחזור לכל הארץ באבן, ומה ישראל, מה יש לה עכשיו? ישראל יש עכשיו אולי ענאווי, אתה יודע מה אני מדבר? קצת. עכשיו ישראל היא, אולי יכול תכנס מלחמה עם אמריקה, מה אני עושה? צריך לחזור לפלסטין, באבן?
Jesus loves you. We're just here to glorify the Lord Jesus. That's why you're here. That's why there is a Bethlehem. There's no other reason. That's why you're here tonight. Because Jesus is born. He's the King of Kings. He's the Lord of Lords.
It is Christmas night, and the city is buzzing.
وردك يا عيوني صورة شفت سهولك جبارة من الغار ولا دفع ولا طيارة يوقف زحف
Come on, have a look. Just look here. Just look here. Wake up.
With the high anticipation for tourists, Hader found himself a job for one night.
Thank you very much.
بحلم تكون منيحة، بحلم يكونوا الأولاد متجوزين، بحلم يكون معهم أولاد، بحلم العيلة تكون منيحة.
The special celebration also draws visitors from Israel.
I'm Jewish, I don't want to pay. No, you must. How much you want? Strong God, you must give me one price. How much you want to pay? How much you want to give to a pregnant woman? Look, I feel nice woman, nice people, sweet people.
In spite of the differences between the two people, when an Israeli meets a Palestinian, it seems like they understand each other and enjoy the haggle.
Believe me, I give you how much cost. No problem between us. Money, not everything. Money, not everything. You have to give a present. Then I give you shalom. Shalom is better than everything. Okay, give it to her. Yes, for you. Okay. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, שנה טובה. חג שמח. שנה טובה לא לנו, לכם.
Faint signs are still visible that the two populations, Palestinian and Israeli, are still in a peace process, at least formally.
רצינו להיכנס לבית לחם ואז הם הדיחו אותנו בדרך.
ראש טוב? המחסום היה סגור.
כן, הכניסו אותנו לכל מיני מקומות שלא יכולנו להסתדר בלעדיהם.
איפה?
בבית
בתוך
ג'אלה.
הסמטאות וזה, עד שהגענו לפה.
Christmas night, the main stage featured guest artists from all over the world, all joining in to take part in the celebrations. But not everyone was invited.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year!
So this was Bethlehem at the dusk of the millennium. Israelis celebrating the birth of Christ in the town of his birth, which is already mostly populated by Muslims.
I know everybody helped for Bethlehem to be very beautiful Bethlehem in Christmas. The Europe and America and Israel, everybody they pay for Bethlehem to be good in the Christmas. But I think this it's nothing for us.
את חושבת שעכשיו, עם כל הכסף שמגיע לעיר לכבוד שנת 2000, המצב ישתנה לטובה?
لا الشعب مش مصر أخذهم الكبار صح يعودوا بحكي ولا لا؟
I asked Adnan if he expects a lot of tourists this month.
Said there are many tourists coming for Bethlehem, but we don't see anything, nothing, just talking.
Believe me, not very bad. No tourists, no business. Not what you think about 2000. Most of tourists last night really from Tel Aviv, from Israel. It's Jewish people. No tourists.
Adnan is not the only peddler selling Christian souvenirs. I asked his neighbour what he thought about this Christmas.
This will be almost, what you can say, from 30 to 40,000 tourists coming. But about the reputation, what's everybody, or about the media, what you heard about in the TV, you know, all in Europe, they have a wrong idea about the Muslim religion. They used to think that the Muslim person he killed, if you kill a Jewish person, you go to the heaven. If you kill a Christian person, you go to the heaven. A lot of people, they were scared even to go out. Another thing, the Israeli tour guide, and they try to break the business for the Palestinian people. They take 35% commission. And the third thing, they told them they are terrorists.
أن نعيش على هذه الأرض دون كوارث ودون حروب ودون عدوان ودون ظلم الذي يقتل فيه الأطفال والشيوخ والنساء، وينبغي أن يكون للإنسان كرامته على وجه الأرض. وكل دين وكل رسالة أنزلها الله سبحانه إنما تدعو إلى هذا الأمر، وما علينا إلا أن نلتزم بما أمر الله وأن نكون أهلا لحمل هذه الرسالة وهذه الأمانة لتطبيقها في أرض الواقع.
After making this statement, during the Israeli Operation 2002 called Defensive Shield to remove terrorist threat from the West Bank, the Imam Khaled Tafish was arrested for his involvement with Hamas activities as one of their leaders in Bethlehem. One week before the new year, the Millennium performance is being installed, while the businesses of Bethlehem are still waiting for the tourists to arrive. Tens of billions of dollars of the Palestinian Authority's scarce financial resources were spent on the millennium festivities. The people of Bethlehem saw very little change to their standard of living, and some of them remained impoverished, with no connection to a water and sewage system.
שלום טוב, אני אגיד באמת, אני לא צוחק עליי. מהיד שלום טוב, אנחנו מרגישים טוב בגלל אנחנו וגם ישראל, אנחנו לחיות טוב, נרגיש שאנחנו בני אדמים בעולם הזה, נלך באיפה אנחנו צריכים, בלי בעיה, בלי משהו, אולי ישכחו שמשהו היה, שימשיכו בעולם. אני יכול לשכח, אבל מה עכשיו, איך אני צריך לחיות או לשכח? אני רואה כל יום בן אדם ורגוע אותו, איך אני יכול לשכח? אם אני הייתי עולם הטוב, הנה אנחנו הולכים ביחד, אנחנו עם ישראלים חברים, נחיות ביחד, יכול לשכח, באמת. יש אנשים מחכים לשש שיבוא, אנחנו מחכים לשאנס שיבוא גם.
In November 2000, I came back to visit Bethlehem. Christmas was nearing, but this time, no one was thinking of celebrations. On my way there, I stopped at Gilo, a Jewish neighborhood built on the hills overlooking the Palestinian town, on land that was seized in 1967. This was now the center of media attention due to extensive exchanges of fire across the valley separating the two towns. The Israeli army was determined to stop the shooting at any cost, and by any means. Sometimes it means innocent people are hurt.
They shoot 500mm bullets and bombs on civilians, innocent civilians. What did we do to them? Innocent people. Why did they shoot at the other people who shoot at them? Why do they shoot at 11 years old kids and 12 years old kids? We are innocent people. Does this kill a tank? Does this blow up a tank? This child playing with this. And when he go out in the street, he just plays with it. He doesn't just shoot at Israelis, he plays with it. Does this blow up a tank? This is the weapons of the Palestinians, and I would love you to show the weapons of the Israelis, tanks and Apaches.
Seeing it from their point of view was very disturbing. Many hoped that celebrations of New Millennium would mark the beginning of a new era, one of prosperity and an advance in the stagnated peace process. In May 2000, Israel terminated 18 years of military presence in South Lebanon. In July of that year, under heavy pressure by the Israeli Prime Minister Barak and US President Clinton, Yasser Arafat, the Palestinian president, arrived to a peace summit in Washington. Anything less than an end to the conflict was to be considered a failure. The Camp David summit indeed failed. The Israelis and the Palestinians could not agree on the terms to a final status agreement, especially on sensitive matters such as the Palestinian demand for a right of return and the status of Jerusalem and its neighborhoods. The peace process seemed to have reached an impasse. Any hope that remained before was replaced by frustration and hopelessness. All that was needed then was a spark to ignite the flames, and that spark did not take long to arrive. In August, I spoke with a member of Hamas, which told me they have a plan on a scale which was never seen before. On September 29, 2000, following a controversial visit of the Israeli opposition leader Ariel Sharon to the Temple Mount, mass protests erupted, which very quickly escalated to widespread violence. A few months later, reports started appearing, stating that the intifada was planned long beforehand. By the end of the first week, 86 Palestinians were dead, 300 were injured, and the riots had spread into the entire occupied territories in what had become the Second Intifada. Unlike the uprising of 1987, this time the struggle was not confined to the West Bank and Gaza and to throwing stones or Molotov cocktails on soldiers. The two populations were now embroiled in a bloody reality of curfews, searches, and military raids on one side, and on the other side, shootings and suicide bombings. In my crossing over to Bethlehem, I asked the soldiers manning the checkpoint what they think.
השער ההוא שם, מנסים הרבה לעבור משם, אבל אנחנו מוצאים אחריהם. יש שם צריכים לתפוס, מעכבים אותו. אני יכול להתערב איתך כולם נכנסים. היו פה 1,000, תסתכלי מה נשאר. 200, 100, 50, כמה נשאר? הרבה לכם הרבה. אז מה, אתם צוחקים על עצמכם? כן, זה צחוק, מה, זה לא צחוק? אמרתי לכם, באים מסביב, זה בעיה. הוא מסתנן, בורח לי עם שקית תחת העצים. לא יודעת מה יש בשקית, נכון או לא? הם צריכים לעבוד, לא יעזור, אם אני הייתי צריך לעבוד, להביא אוכל לילדים שלי, יודעת מה הייתי עושה. סך הכל ברק, מה הוא עושה? חייך, לא צורה. יש הרבה אנשים בלי אישורים. בית חולים, אני לא תתני לו להיכנס. באה מישהי, חודש תשיעי, רוצה ללכת ללדת, מה? אומרת רק ביקור חולים, זהו. לא, תשמעי, מה, לא פוגעים באנשים. אני מרגיש להיות פה? זה עבודה קשה, זה... לא חיכה. נשים, מתות לעבוד, מה אני אגיד לה, לא?
אז אתה מעלים מים.
לא מדבר, שתיכנס. אני לא פוחד מאף אחד, הלב שלי כזה חלש. זה כמו שעצרו את אמא שלי, 13 ילדים יש לה בבית, אני אגיד לה, מה, איזה מדבר?
Three years on, the conflict has escalated. There are no exceptions. No one is going out, and nobody is coming in. even the media is advised not to enter Bethlehem. I found myself running away, along with everyone else, when the curfew was called. Trying to disappear. I followed Elizabeth's father, who kindly let me into his home. I asked what do they say in the speakers.
Nothing, just go home. It's curfew. Till, I don't know, till when they lift it another time. And the one who obeys or disobeys will get harsh punishment.
What is harsh punishment?
Hitting, getting 500 shekels. Like 1 week ago, they made all the taxis and the cars like one row, and like a wedding. Walking on Beit Jala, Beit Sahur, like for a day. There's another one like a lottery. Hit bones or hit the head or break the hand or the leg. So the guy will lift one and the soldiers will do what the paper says. That's the third punishment. A lot of punishments.
Carlo is now married. Adnan still has the same souvenir shop. Hada has his own food stand. And Elizabeth is engaged to be married. I asked, have you ever been out in the curfew yourself?
Not all the time, sometimes.
I asked him how it felt.
For me, not terrible, normal. Walking in the free streets, no people. Went to friends' home, playing cards, that's it.
And if he saw a soldier, what would he do?
Run away, of course.
הסתיימו עיצומים במגן דוד אדום, העובדים שבו להחקירה. בשכם נהרגו 3 פלסטינים בחילופי אש עם צה"ל. בבוקר נהרגו 2 מבוקשים של התנזים. בטול כרם הרגו שוטרי מג"ב ואת ג'מאל נאדר מראשי התנזים בעיר.
The Israel soldiers, they come here and destroy everything. I was in the home, but I go outside because maybe they will kill me. I don't do anything. This is from the soldiers, the Israel soldiers.
They came to the house?
They came to the house. All this like this, all this.
All this like this. Here.
The same.
House is empty. What are you
Everything here.
كله هيك.
اسبوع
احنا ننظف. في صورة بنت اختي متجوزة.
هذه على المشرق تحت
كسروها كلها على الارض. كل الدار. يعني هدول هيك. هون هاي الكرباعي. من هون انفرطت طلع كيف.
صوروا شهادة
خيطناها.
انه مخلص توجيه.
كله مفتوح، كله موزع.
ما هذه من تحت كلها.
ولا كانش في فراش ولا شيء.
بس هذا خيطناها. خيطناها، قول لهم خيطناها.
في كمان واحدة زي هاي كبيناها كمان لسه. هذيك ممزعة على الآخر، واحدة زي هاي كبيناها.
شو بحبها؟
لا ما هي ولا شيء. لا خلص صورناها.
In January 2001, another round of talks between Israel and the Palestinian authorities was conducted in the Egyptian resort of Taba. That was the last chance to reach an agreement and stop the spiral of violence, but it failed as well. The following month, Barak lost elections to Ariel Sharon, who now became the Prime Minister of Israel.
What happened?
They were here. They took keys from a man and look, his car is here.
What they said?
It's closed. Who will be outside will be punished.
It is Christmas morning. Today, the city is open. Adnan, a Muslim, still opens his Christian souvenir shop at 6 o'clock every morning, even when the streets are empty. Where does he find the hope? I asked Adnan, what is this Christmas now?
Nothing, you see? No Christmas. No people, no Christians, no Muslims, no Jewish, nothing. The people are afraid to go out. They feel something bad about this situation, really. Tomorrow it's open, today it's open, tomorrow you don't know what happened for us, we closed. Tomorrow they come with the soldiers and stop closed. Can't go out home. For me, if I have good situation, good business, good family, free to go any place, I never think in my mind any time to make problems, to make bombs, to make anything. I never. But when you find family, 15 persons in one room, and bathroom in the same room, what he can do future, no schools, nothing, what he can do. It's for sometimes I hope to die, and for me, example, when they closed the home for 40 days, I died better in this life, because animals, they live better than us.
Carlo and his family have decided to leave Bethlehem. I asked them, so the decision is to leave, no matter what?
If they make visa, yes.
زائر
إنه خلاص قراركم كنتوا تروحوا ما تضلوش. This is my home. Work no. Today, but tomorrow you don't know. Tomorrow you don't know.
كل الجهات يعني مش عارف كيف نفهمها يعني ما حدا ولا حدا مثبت شيء. Everything no good. أي شيء. إيش شيء منيح في الدنيا هاي.
I asked them, so what will happen if you don't get the visa? What will you do with your life?
They didn't leave. They tried to another country because the situation is very bad, and we try to find a better future for us and for the children and for everybody. You see here, every day 10 people die, every day. Maybe it will be after 5 years, 10 years, maybe it will be quiet here, little quiet. We come back. Because we love this country. It's nobody go from his country for forever. Nobody.
People, Israel and Palestinians, we can live together. We can. Many times we live together. But the politica or the leaders of all the two peoples, they make. Sharon, if it's quiet, no problem, no bombs, he's not okay. He must have problems. He attack here, to tell the Israeli people, I am stop the terrorist. But he don't stop. He get it grew. I'm afraid what I take you this about Sharon, but it's democratic in your country.
On both sides, different views are held as to what had caused the eruption of violence. The overwhelming majority of Israelis are convinced now that the Palestinians, by having refused Barak's proposal in Camp David, have proven that they are not a sincere partner of peace. The Palestinians, on the other hand, believe that the proposal they were offered was not as generous as the Israelis perceive it, and did not meet their minimal demands, one of which was sovereignty over East Jerusalem.
אבל לא היה מוכן לתת הרבה מקוץ לפלסטין.
עכשיו הוא לא היה.
כן.
הוא היה רק יגיד ככה, מילים ככה.
אם הוא היה חותם, הייתם רואים?
للحظة هاي احنا بنقول احنا بدنا السلام. بس السلام اللي مظبوط، السلام الحقيقي اللي بعطينا زي ما قلت لك كامل حقوقنا. مش السلام اللي بدها اياه اسرائيل.
Many times government Israel they want to tell them stop the bomb in Israel, stop everything. Hamas, Fatah, they stop it and they make agreement. The night of they make agreement, they kill one of the biggest of Hamas or Fatah. What you know of this things? You know that he don't want to be stopped. Why? If you kill after kill, this film is to continue, not stop. We must stop everything.
ما فيش راحة. شو في فترة؟ ما في راحة.
وبحد عيال ونحن في ظل عز الإسلام العادل الذي يرسي قواعد المحبة والرحمة بين الناس جميعا. اطلق سراح أسرانا ومعتقلينا يا رب العالمين، ورد غائبينا ومبعدين إلى أهليهم سالمين غانمين معافين يا رب العالمين. اللهم لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا، ولا تؤاخذنا بما فعل السفهاء منا يا رب العالمين، وتقبل منا صلاتنا وصيامنا ودعاءنا وسائر أعمالنا.
I was surprised to see that since the Intifada, Adnan started joining the prayers at the mosque.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
Go to the Lord. He come to you. He is with you. Find there the source of your wisdom, the source of your freedom, the source of your courage. When you are closed in your houses, nobody can impede you from prayer, loving, caring for your family. Help your children, despite all the circumstances, to be confident in their future. Help them to smile. It would be a sad life for children growing in an atmosphere of hatred, vengeance, and destruction and death.
لازم يصير سلام. ولا حرام اليهودي ولا الانجليزي ولا الامريكاني ولا عربي، حرام القتل من دون سبب، حرام.
trying to pray. Pray here. Well, why can't we pray there? Can you explain?
This is the last point. We can move. Last point. Okay.
Just a second. As you can see,
Okay.
Why you decide? Let us decide what to play. This is how
In January 2006, the Palestinian national elections ended with a surprising victory of Hamas, the main Islamic party. The Palestinian Authority is now politically isolated, the economy is in ruins, and internal tensions between political groups and factions have contributed to the atmosphere of violence and insecurity. The ongoing battle between the Israeli army and various Palestinian groups is taking place in the towns and villages of the West Bank and the Gaza Strip, and it is the civilian population who pays the heaviest price. At this point in time, there is no talk of peace, no source of hope. Near Christmas 2006, the city was open for tourists, but very few came.
Carol, my name is Adnan. Excuse me, we have a small shop here. If you like to visit our shop, give me a chance to visit our shop.
Well, we can go and have a look.
Welcome. You feel at your home. First of all, what do you like to drink? Tea? I'm carving olive wood. We have many stuff from olive wood done in Bethlehem. Also, we have crystal from Hebron. You see, all this is from Hebron, done in Hebron. I'll show you. Look. This is made by hand in Hebron factories. See? But no business, no tourist. All the tourists spend their money in Israel side.
I know.
Yes, in Jerusalem.
Yeah. We were told we should buy in Jerusalem.
Ah.
Yeah.
They told you?
Yes.
All tourists controlled by guide. Don't go to Bethlehem. Be careful. No, it's safe city and no problem here.
No problem here.
And they control the tourists to buy, spend their money in hotels and shopping in Israel.
Yeah.
Don't buy from Bethlehem, just from Israel. God bless you. My friend, you're welcome.
Nice shop.
Many stuff and no customs, no business really.
Is it better this year than last year's? Has the situation stabilized or is it
Well,
the
the
same?
same, really the same. Nothing changed, really. You see, it's empty. The main square is empty. No tourists, no people, just local people here.
Yeah.
We hope so in the future become better than nowadays.
I hope so. Yeah.
You know,
it's a nice city, Bethlehem. I
yes,
like it very much. I like to come here.
It's a nice city and holy city and safe city. I show you all this stuff done by Christians, family carving. Olive wood.
Olive wood.
Yes, you know Bethlehem it's famous to do olive wood carving.
I see.
But we have many stuff, no sales. We cannot go Jerusalem to sell our stuff because you see the wall.
Yeah, I see.
It's a bad situation, yeah.
I didn't like going through that funny wall, like the Berlin Wall. Not very good. I come from a country that's also divided, and I don't like divided countries. I suppose there are a few reasons why the wall. I think you're aware that there are some people who might come from Palestine, maybe with bombs, maybe, yeah. So that's one reason, but I think that wall is too high. It's ridiculous, yeah. There are other ways of getting over the problem. The Palestinian people must be freer. They're not free. The wall is certainly not helping business. I think many people would not like to go through a wall like this. You just get a bad feeling. I feel safe, yes. I don't think there's any danger here. we've a good feeling with the people here.
Just Palestinian police in the major square because Abu Mazen want to come to visit church this night. Celebration with the Christians people. He's in the church now.
אבל אני בשתי שלי, זה מצוין.
In the last 7 years, I learned that there is just one truth. Everybody is right. It just depends where you stand, what side of the truth you see. Harder and Adnan's viewpoint is not less correct than that of my grandfather and my friends in Tel Aviv.
I believe in peace. We believe because we are human beings first of all. We're looking for peace. We're looking for freedom. We are two people. We must be good neighbors.
כן, כן, מה נשמע? מה, את לא חוזרת לבית לחם? רק אומרים שלום. אולי יהיה שלום, אולי.